Through the sacred art of music, let us find peace that will pervade all over the globe. Let us not fight for peace, but let us find peace within ourselves first.
It was a social phenomenon that I think was never really written about in its correct portrayal of what happened at that time. I think rock and roll was what I call the first generational primal scream. We were singing about songs and writing songs about the lives we were living at the time.
I went to the now defunct Turtle Bay Music School in Manhattan, and my mom used to bring me by subway to take lessons, and I was actually doing some performances on piano at 4.5, 5 for their little get-togethers.
I have been very happy by creating things that I have always felt like something different, whether in form of orchestration or smaller groups or music for films or whatever. That has given me a lot of happiness.
My mom, I think, had thoughts that I was the next Shirley Temple. She decided I'd take tap dancing lessons, and I remember brush, brush, step, and I didn't go too far in the tap dancing department.
And he started playing this music, and it was, I couldn't believe it. Like, what is that? And it was Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and then eventually I had a friend who bought and learnt guitar, and we formed a band.
A large amount of the problem is just volume. The volume necessary to produce the tone he wants is a volume which does not agree with the volume that I play lead at. So it means like when I'm playing lead, it will be a whole different situation, viewed by many as being a lot more conservative. And it definitely is in some ways.
on. I think he was producing now Goodbye Cream. They were broken up. And I had this group, went in the studio, we didn't have enough material. He says to me, I don't have enough time to write songs with you. I've got to go, Goodbye Cream. I said, well, what am I going to do? He says, well, maybe this is Vagrants, maybe if you guys break up, if you start something new, give me a call. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen.
When the Grateful Dead first started, we were called the Warlocks. We had one strong suit. We had Pigpen in the band. And he was this guy from Palo Alto whose father had been a rhythm and blues disc jockey. So for him, the blues was very natural. And he played harmonica, and he sang really well, and he really had no real wish to be a performer. We sort of forced him into it.
We never played the same show twice, I think, was the main reason that people kept coming back.
But didn't they ask for the same songs and stuff like that?
They didn't need to. They didn't need to have the same song. Besides, we never had any hits, so they wouldn't have known what to ask for.
Creedence Clearwater Revival is being remembered as an ultimate rock and roll band. I think it's a very nice compliment. I really can't say why, other than just maybe the type of rock and roll that we chose to play. That was a combination of black and country music, kind of like how it all sort of came together, in much the same way that Chuck Berry put it all together.
Well, it's just like a problem of logistics, like the same thing that happened to Haight-Ashbury. At the beginning, not many people knew about it. Consequently, it was just all nice and quiet. But then everybody found it was so groovy, they all wanted to come. Well, now they're getting very big, and to have a good festival, I think you have to have a lot of organizational ability and a lot of talent, and a lot of bread to put the thing together so it'll be, even functionable for the audience, let alone for the groups.
I ran across Cy when he had to come to Sacramento to finish his senior year because he had gotten kicked out of all the schools in Vallejo. So he just needed to, finish up the few days in order to get his diploma. So he was coming to Sacramento a lot, and Sacramento had a youth choir. His mom and dad used to bring Rose and Sly over, and whenever they would, rehearse with us and sing lead, man, the whole place rocked.
I need to do songs. I have songs I've been blessed to be able to play, and I was encouraged by my mom mainly to not take advantage of my being able to relate to music and to be able to play it.
Yeah.
If I didn't, it felt like a lack of contribution to society.
I had to let out the studio next to mine as a bar, and I recorded several albums in there with the people and their families. I just sort of kept the tape running in that studio, and then would go in and grab any sort of luminary that came through the door and say, "Hello, mate, haven't seen you for ages." No, I've never met you.
I think the first person I ever saw that really sort of hit me clothes-wise was Gene Vincent with his leather suits. I always wanted a leather suit after that. By the time I could actually afford one, our manager made us dress like little mods, so I never actually got to wear it.
apolitical band if you really analyze it. And we have the luxury of coming from San Francisco, which is very nutritious for off the normal beam kind of people, and nurtures them really in its own way.
I mean, I saw a lot of people get hurt and a lot of people, lose it on that because inside them, the drug would open up whatever's in them. A lot of people are paranoid, a lot of people are frightened, a lot of people are happy, Whatever's in you comes out. And so you have all that, The music was something everybody could hold on to, That's one thing.
The important thing that you've proven to the world is that 500,000 kids, 500,000 young people can get together and have 3 days of fun and music and have nothing but fun and music. And I God bless you for it.
Well, like when you think about music, the big attraction always been to me has been black music, because that's where the real soul comes from, the guts that you got. It was just like I could never think of anything to put into the music out of it, but there must be, I'm sure. I'm talking about the old type stuff, Could never see how you could put that into modern rock and roll.
I don't like things to be too exact. I like the freedom to feel your own way. I don't play exact guitar. I never read music. I play from the hip, like a gunslinger. I'm a jammer. I don't often. I'll play something good and we'll never play it again because I don't remember what it was. I play purely by instinct, and I play from adrenaline.
Whether it's a folk festival, a blues festival, it's still a music festival. And it's music that has brought us together, and that's wonderful. The audiences are the same as they are all over the world. They're good, they're clean, and they're having fun, and they're hungry. They want some more music, and they're about to get it.
My joy is to play the drums, of course, and the singing part was just something that I glommed my way into. So as long as I wasn't on at death's door, I started to getting pretty happy. I couldn't talk or laugh, but finally got so I could speak a little bit and laugh a lot, and I was pretty happy.
There was a lot of experimenting going on with drugs. People were like, "Oh, did you try this one yet?" And in the beginning, there was something that didn't seem that dangerous about it. As time went on, we started to be introduced to something that we were really unfamiliar with, and it's called addiction.
Up to that point, I'd learned everything that I had heard off records, but about the time I was 15 or so, I started, I got my first fake ID card and having white hair. Nobody could tell exactly how old I was. And in those days, Beaumont was a pretty wide open place. You could pretty much do whatever you wanted. If you were old enough to sit up on a bar stool, you could get a drink.
as fate would have it, I flew into New York the same time that Crosby, Stills and Nash flew in from London, and we were all supposed to go out to John Sebastian's house, and that's where we ended up jamming together. And it then occurred to them that I could play along with their vocals and not drown them out, but indeed enhance what was going on. So they decided to bring me in.
Woodstock is obviously what it is. You know, it's a Joni song. It's a great song. We couldn't resist it. When we sing Woodstock live, the four of us, we sound like that. That's us live. There's no overdubs on that. We do that live, four-part. We get to the end of the first chorus, people start applauding in the middle of the show. Right in the middle of the concert. We haven't even got to the end of the song. It's a magical thing.
Blues to me is a pretty wide range. Stuff like Roland Kirk plays the blues, Nina Simone sings the blues, Ray Charles, Aretha, and Muddy Waters.
My name is Dennis Green, and I'm a professor of law at the University of Dayton School of Law. As a freshman at Columbia, I joined a group called the Columbia Kingsmen, and we performed a cappella music on campus. And we were invited to perform at Spring Carnival, so we did our first big extravaganza. And it was when we changed the name from the Columbia Kingsmen to Sha Na Na. It was called Grease Under the Stars in the spring of 1969.
Money is getting to be out of hand now. You know, it's musicians, especially young cats, they get a chance to make all this money and they say, "Oh, this is fantastic." And like I said before, they lose themselves and they forget about the music itself. They forget about their talents. They forget about the other half of them. So therefore, you can sing a whole lot of blues. The more money you make, the more blues sometimes you can sing.
Planned it to be a festival that would welcome everybody, people with tickets and people without tickets. If you didn't have a ticket, you could come in, you had free campgrounds, there was a free kitchen if you didn't have money to buy food, there was free stages where the acts would go and play afterwards. And of course we had our gates and our ticket booths so that people could buy tickets if they wanted to. And my thinking was always that if the price was really reasonable and if we were giving more than we were getting, that people would be willing to buy tickets.